Beyonce and Jay Z just got pulled right into Diddy's legal storm, and the streets are buzzing. Word is, Diddy's legal team is allegedly ready to toss the Carters straight under the bus to save themselves. That's right, no hesitation, no loyalty, just straight up betrayal. People have been speculating for a while now that Diddy's crew would throw anybody to the wolves if it helped their case. But nobody expected Jay Z to be in the firing line this early. And here's the real kicker. Whatever's on those mysterious tapes is so explosive, insiders claim Beyonce isn't even waiting around to see how it unfolds. Now everyone's wondering, what in the world is on those tapes that's got Queen Bey this spooked? Some folks are saying it's so damaging, she's actually considering divorcing Jay Z over it. Divorce! That's wild. Whatever was caught on camera or audio must be deep, like career-ruining, marriage-shattering deep. If you've been tuned in from day one, then you already know Jay Z and Beyonce didn't just get roped into this out of nowhere. Their name's been circling around Diddy's drama since the jump. Jay Z and Diddy go way back. So close that Diddy once said Jay Z was one of only 2 people in the entire world allowed to call him by his real name, Sean.
There's only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay,
that should be calling me. Yeah, that should be calling me Sean.
That's not just friendship. That's next level brotherhood. But here's where it gets even messier. There have been rumors for a long time that Beyonce might have known a little bit about Diddy's shady dealings too. Nothing solid ever surfaced, though, so most of the spotlight stayed on Jay Z. But now, with these tapes allegedly about to drop, the game might be changing fast. Everybody's watching Beyonce's next move, and from the looks of it, she's already stepping back before the fallout hits full force. Looks like there might be some real smoke behind these rumors, because word going around says Beyonce is fed up with Jay Z's messy antics, making her look bad. She's allegedly ready to cut ties and walk away clean. People close to the situation claim she's been holding it together for the sake of the family, but enough is enough. She's done playing cover-up for his drama, and now she's putting herself and her kids first. Blue Ivy's career is just getting started, and Jay Z's baggage is already throwing a shadow over her shine. During the premiere of Blue's first film, Mufasa, all eyes were supposed to be on her big moment, not her dad's legal drama. And let's not forget how Blue's been crushing it on stage during the Cowboy Carter tour. She's been dancing, performing, and holding her own like a pro. People are even whispering that she might be dropping some music of her own soon, a next-gen star in the making. And Beyonce? She's not about to let Jay Z's mess drag their daughter down. Insiders are saying she's already laying the groundwork to walk away, but she's keeping it quiet and classy. No messy public drama, no media circus, just a smooth exit. Because let's be real, Beyonce doesn't do chaos. But she will protect her peace and her kids at all costs. Love her or not, one thing's for sure, Beyonce doesn't play when it comes to her personal life. She's always kept things tight, and this whole divorce buzz, no exception. Can you really blame her, though? She's got a global brand to protect and 3 kids who come before everything. The last thing she wants is to get caught up in a messy public showdown that turns her life into a media circus. Now the streets are talking, and the word is Beyonce might already be plotting her quiet escape. An insider spilled that she's working on a low-key exit strategy, something slick and drama-free, kind of like what Will and Jada Smith did. No big fights in the press, no screaming matches online, just a silent move behind the scenes. Sources are saying she's planning to separate from Jay Z, but she wants to wait until the trial blows over and her tour wraps up. After that, boom, she'll likely hit us with a calm, polished, "we've been apart for a while now" statement and pivot the focus straight to the kids. Clean, classy, and no room for mess. And honestly, it's a brilliant move. She gets to protect her image, play the loyal wife who was in the dark, and when the headlines finally explode, she can flip the spotlight to her own narrative. Beyonce knows the game, and she's playing it like a pro. Straight up, this would be a total power move. And let's be honest, With all the whispers and side eyes over the years about Beyonce and Jay Z's marriage, it wouldn't take much for her to flip the whole narrative in her favor. The Beyhive has been loud for years, begging her to leave him. And now, the timing couldn't be better. If she ever wanted to make her exit and come out looking like the queen who rose above it all, this might be her golden moment. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room. People have always raised eyebrows about how their relationship started. Jay Z was already pushing 30 when he first started getting involved with B, and she was reportedly still a teenager, around 16. Looking back on that with today's lens, yeah, it hits way different. There's been a quiet discomfort around their origin story, and folks have brought it up time and time again, especially now that things are falling apart in the public eye. Even in an old interview, Beyoncé herself touched on their age gap, trying to explain it away. But for a lot of people, that part never really sat right, and now it's coming back into the spotlight. Again, I was 18 when we first met, 19 when we started dating. There was no rush. No one expected me to run off and get married. That's how Beyoncé explained it. So, according to her version, they officially started dating when she was 19 and Jay Z was 31. But even though that made her legal, fans still couldn't shake the weird feeling about the age gap. It just felt off. But here's where things get shady. In a 2007 interview with Charlie Rose, Jay Z himself said he met Beyoncé 10 years ago, which would have been around 1997. That would have made her just 16, while he was 27 or 28. Now, that's the kind of timeline that raises serious questions. The idea of a grown man in his late 20s forming a connection with a teenage girl, people have been uncomfortable with that for years, and they're only getting louder about it now. Honestly, it's no surprise that folks often paint Beyoncé as the victim in this situation. Jay Z is the one who gets dragged across the internet every time there's a new scandal, while Bey somehow floats above the chaos, untouched, almost untouchable. She's treated like royalty, someone who's too graceful and polished to ever be caught up in anything messy. But let's not act like there haven't been years of whispers about Beyoncé allegedly pulling strings behind the scenes. Rumors have swirled about her using her power to block other artists, kill projects, and control narratives. But each time, she gets a pass. It's like she's been living in this protective bubble, where the spotlight never turns fully on her, no matter what goes down. Things really started heating up last year when blogger Storm Ronroe came through with some explosive claims. According to his sources, Beyoncé had been secretly planning her exit from Jay Z, and not just casually thinking about it, but actively making moves behind closed doors.
So a lot of times they choose not to cover certain stories to protect certain relationships. It just is what it is, right? But once it's okay and cool to talk about it, best believe everybody's going to be talking about it. So, with that being said, I don't know what the tea was that Jason Lee was going to expose on Beyonce, and I still haven't heard anything in particular about Beyonce. But what I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separate. And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it, and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. Yeah, I might have to ask Jason Lee. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're going to see Beyonce divorce him. Okay. And she may or may not do an interview, but you're gonna their publicist is gonna release something. She's gonna say, oh, the Carters have been separated for some time. They built this beautiful life, blah, 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 blah. Now, before all this happens, we may get another tour. We may get another album out of both of them. I don't know, because at the end of the day, they about their money first. They're gonna do what's best for business first. As far as Beyonce is concerned, do she love him? I mean, he's really all that she knows. She was ready to leave him years ago, but the industry is it's different. And I don't want to say it's an Illuminati contract because I don't know how the Illuminati get down. I really don't know. And I'm not going to lie to you and say I do. But essentially, she's been stuck, right? But I believe this is going to be her chance to get out. And according to what I heard, if certain things that I can't even speak on come out, she gone. She's going to protect her image.
The Beyhive went wild. They were here for it, finally seeing their queen break free from what they saw as a long, troubled relationship. And then Storm dropped another bomb. Jay Z might be tangled up in some serious legal drama. Not just the usual Hollywood mess. We're talking full-on Diddy-level secrets that could shake the entire industry from top to bottom. His claims had social media in a chokehold, but let's not pretend he was the first one to bring this up. People have been watching, waiting, and speculating for years. And now, it looks like the truth might finally be crawling out of the shadows. Credit where it's due. Jaguar Wright called this out way before the storm hit. Right after Cassie's lawsuit started making headlines, Jaguar jumped online and straight up warned everyone Jay Z was next. She hinted that major moves were already in motion to blow the lid off his allegedly shady business dealings.
Because the Diddy. Oh! Diddy done turned over tapes. Allegedly, with the Carters, it's some freak off. And the Beyonce. How on the and the tapes had jizz all over it. Hold on.
And now, it's looking like all those puzzle pieces are finally snapping into place. When you look back at how tight Jay Z and Diddy were, it starts to feel more than just friendly. That bond? A little too convenient. You know the saying, birds of a feather flock together. And now, folks are whispering that Jay might be hiding things even worse than Diddy. If that's true, that's not just scandalous and that's chilling. People are side-eyeing the whole crew now, wondering what really goes down when the lights are off and the cameras stop rolling. Diddy's already drowning in serious accusations. But the idea that Jay Z might be carrying even darker secrets? That's the kind of rumor that keeps people up at night. For the longest time, folks shrugged Jay off as just another rich guy cheating on his wife. Even Beyonce, the audacity. Becky with the good hair was only the tip of the iceberg. Word is, there's been a whole lineup of women over the years, and that's just the stuff we've heard about. So if Beyonce really is making her quiet exit, no one's even shocked anymore. The only surprise is that it took this long. But now here's the real jaw-dropper. The last straw for Beyonce, according to the latest tea, was when she allegedly found out that Jay Z and Diddy may have been secretly recording her without her knowing. If that's even half true, that's not just betrayal. That's downright violating. No wonder she's pulling the plug and protecting herself. This ain't just some Hollywood love story gone sour. This is next-level drama with some real dark corners. And now, it looks like the truth is coming to the surface, piece by piece. And it gets even worse. Word on the streets is that Beyonce's alleged tape might be one of the many the Fed seized during that major raid on Diddy's properties last year. Yep, that raid. Now, there's a real chance that the tape could leak, and if it does, it could blow the lid off everything. We're talking serious damage to her image, her privacy, and maybe even her career. Jaguar Wright was actually one of the first to sound the alarm. She claimed there was a tape showing Beyonce in a seriously compromising position. And the most shocking part? Beyonce allegedly had no idea she was even being recorded. Jaguar said Diddy was behind it and that it was all done in secret using hidden cameras. No consent, no warning, just full-on violation. And she's not the only one who's spoken up. Lawyer Ariel Mitchell-Kidd dropped her own bombshell. She revealed she was contacted by a client who wanted help selling a tape featuring one of the most famous celebrities in the world. According to Ariel, the person on the tape clearly had no idea they were being filmed. She didn't name names, but everybody started connecting the dots.
I also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute. Say that again. Say that again. Back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
Yes.
the shopping thing is kind of
Yes,
new.
there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow. Can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No,
this
I can't
tape.
explain who the person was, but Mr.
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it? Or
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video was in nature.
Oh my. All right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, Diddy. And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes. This was actually in his Atlanta home, at
Okay.
a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping, like they're being surreptitiously recorded it.
That's not just shady, that's terrifying. If Beyonce ends up divorcing Jay Z over this, no one's going to question her decision. This isn't just some messy celebrity breakup. This is deep, dark, and disturbing. Every day, more pieces are falling into place, and the story keeps getting uglier. So if that tape really exists, and if it leaks, it could shake the entire entertainment world to its core. Want to keep up with all this juicy drama as it unfolds? Hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss the next twist in this wild Hollywood saga. You already know, and it's only getting crazier from here.